And I'm hoping, I haven't got my new microphone yet, so I'm hoping that microphone works fine. It worked last time. And we are just going to wait for people to load in, including my co-host, Gregory.
Hi. Hello. I'm here. Are we on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Oh, I'm here.
I'm on. I'm live. Let me pop that off real quick.
Running with scissors. Running with scissors. Running with scissors.
Creating so many.
Lucky
Right.
57.
55.
55.
All right. Marvin's popping in.
There we
All
go.
right, traders.
Hi there.
Hello. Welcome to our podcast.
Can you see me?
Yeah. I can see you here. I can see you here.
Can you see me on there?
And we can see you all over the place.
Okay. Awesome. Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the show. Everything's late. Nobody dies. Episode 55.
We got to add everything's late, nobody dies, and Craig never stops working. Let's call it that, shall we? It's got a huge toy collection in it.
It is a huge toy collection.
Like a bunch of stuff. Like I'm scrambling to make room up there, which is good because my toy section is getting a little low there.
Yeah.
Starting to get a bit sparse. We got some cool Godzilla
And
toys.
for a store that doesn't sell a lot of toys,
We sell a lot of toys.
you sell a lot of toys.
Yeah. I mean, for not being a toy store.
Right.
Yeah, we sell a lot of toys.
So it's been, wow, we didn't do a show last week.
No, we didn't.
It's been so.
I was waiting for you. I was just sitting over here.
Oh, yeah, you
I was
were
sitting over here
in
in
Chicago.
No, I was back by then. Remember, we were going to try and do it. Or, no, I was back on Thursday. We were going to try and do it on Friday, but I just sat here. I came over here and I sat down at 3 o'clock, and you never shut up, so I just slept here.
Okay,
was really
that's probably my bad.
I think it is.
I've been a little out of things, out of sorts lately.
That's okay.
But
we'll
sorting
sort
it out.
Hey, back. Will you turn the AC on so I don't glisten on camera? Thank you. It's a little warm today.
I got a sheen going.
You got a sheen. I'll call you Martin.
So today, I thought we would talk about comic books and the community and giving back.
Mm-hmm.
Charity's been a huge part of comic books since the inception, really.
Yeah.
And I'm a big collector of like those one shots that they do.
Oh God, yeah.
The Spider-Man and his friends versus
say whoa to drugs.
Yeah.
Say whoa.
Say whoa.
Say whoa. I'll just give you a minute to get ready.
Like one of the most moving books I've ever read was there's a Batman, and the name escapes me at the moment, but it's a one shot that they did to help support the removal of landmines.
Oh, the landmines one, yeah.
And Death of Innocence was
Death of the Innocence, yep.
Man, that was such a powerful book.
That was good.
It was really well written. The art was incredible.
Yep.
It was Batman.
Yep.
So that's one that has really resonated with me.
So anyone that says Bruce Wayne doesn't give back, the hell with them. There you go.
But we've got a special guest with us today.
We do. How are you?
Yeah. Member of the Utah Comic Group.
Special guest. Barack Obama. No, sorry, that was my Clint Eastwood. See the chair. Anyway, just go ahead.
Anyway, creator of the Wasatch Wonders and local comic creator, Evan Black, is going to join us.
Can you do like
You guys?
Can you do like
this is live.
This is
live.
Man.
Tape for a live audience. We'll add it in post.
Okay, fair enough.
Someday we'll get a couple people. There's no post. I'm lazy.
You're looking at post. You're looking at pre, during, and post.
Post live.
Yeah. So you're the creator of Wasatch Wonders.
Yep.
Created, you write it.
Mm-hmm.
You do the artwork.
Yep.
Everything. Right on. Tell us a little bit about Wasatch Wonders.
Well, I got the idea. You guys remember the Civil War, Iron Man versus Cap?
Oh, that
right?
Civil War,
yeah. The first one.
Yes.
Civil War 1, not 2, whatever. But yeah, there was like a B plot in that whole thing where Iron Man was putting a superhero team in every state.
Mm-hmm.
He called it the 50 State Initiative, and they had their California team and their Wisconsin team, and just going down the list. And then they mentioned those superheroes in Utah, and it was like a record scratch for me. I was, okay, they're talking about my people. I have to see where this goes and what they do with it, and they didn't do anything. They gave him a name.
They did
then,
nothing.
Really?
Yeah, and they just kind of moved on from it. The idea didn't stick or anything, and so they just kind of moved on and was like, well, if I'm not going to see it in the comics, might as well do it myself so that I can see it eventually. Or yeah, and so I kind of started from that point and started like, what would superheroes be like in Utah, and what would they even be fighting? What would be going on, right? And so I thought, well, I started putting together the characters, putting together the ideas, and just decided to plop a big battle right in the middle of like State and South Temple, and have a fight right there, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Putting it together since then.
Between State and South Temple, I mean, there's been fights there before.
Yeah, this definitely isn't the first.
Yeah,
property, something like
that. Yeah,
office buildings of some sort. I can't remember. Anyway, whatever. That's neither here nor there.
Those are right there in the background.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's really cool. It almost seems like kind of an alternate take on Salt City Strangers, like
kinda,
sort
yeah.
of a like, I guess more, I don't know if I would say maybe realistic, because Chris's stuff is more like mythology.
Yeah, they've got like a paranormal
and
aspect
stuff like
to
that.
it, and this is more of like a Silver Age sci-fi take, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's kind of been what I wanted to see with it, was sort of a Silver Age approach, just a storytelling and concepts in it,
right.
And so sort of that 70s into 80s sort of feel, because that's kind of when I got into comics.
Right.
Back then.
Well, I think that a lot of the storytelling in the 70s and 80s, that silver to bronze transition, especially in Marvel, a lot of that storytelling really fits in well with kind of the attitude that we have in the state.
For sure.
So a lot of more family oriented, not real gory, not real into the horror and that type of stuff, but more kind of sci-fi, fantastical type stuff.
For sure.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the reason that Evan asked us to bring him on is you've got a new Kickstarter that you're working on, and I thought this was real interesting. I was reading through the Kickstarter.
Oh, I thought you just wanted to hang out.
That's two birds.
And
okay, fair.
We will, if I can remember how to do this.
2 bald birds with 1 Kickstarter.
I'm getting there too.
No, God. That's
Hey, what's up, Fable? Haven't seen you in a minute and a half.
Well, we haven't done one of these in a minute and a quarter, so that's fair.
Well, Fable has a show on every Saturday, and I try to pop in and watch it. He's over on Instagram, does some really cool stuff. See if I can remember.
While you're looking at that, I want to put this up here.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Evan was super, super cool to bring this in. It's got a T-shirt, Wasatch Wonders T-shirt. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
This
it looks
one,
a lot like that.
Yep.
It's just smaller and plastic.
Flatter.
Yeah. And there's issue 1 and 2. We got, that's like a print back there, right?
Yeah, there's like an 11x17 poster back there.
Nice. You got cards, sticker. Yeah.
There's a sticker in there.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool of you to do.
That's going to be available as part of the Adrian Ropp
the fundraiser
stuff that's going on Saturday.
So, if you guys don't know about that, Adrian is a great friend, great guy, great talent. And thanks to Chris for really doing a lot of the legwork, Chris Hoffman. There's not a lot of things that I can say about him that are nice, but that's one.
It's a short list.
Yeah, it's a short list. Chris is a great guy. And he, did so much of the legwork getting this stuff done. We're trying to raise some funds. It's a benefit for Adrian tomorrow, Saturday. Day after tomorrow. Don't come in here tomorrow. No, come in tomorrow. Buy some things. Do both. There you go. And hopefully with the sale that's going on, because we're having a 50% off sale on back issues and graphic novels, that typically translates into some major business on Saturday. And so we're going to have somebody here that I just went to school with the same school that he did up in Idaho. She's coming down. She's going to do some pictures, some sketches, and that'll go toward his benefit. He had a kidney transplant, so it is very, very serious stuff, very expensive stuff, and the comic book industry, man, we don't make the CEO of the comic books kind of money.
Right.
We make more of like the not even the UPS driver, just the people that just bring it in and go, we make the Amazon drivers kind of money, if that, and and it's that stuff is expensive if you do have like awesome, amazing insurance. I mean, if you have somebody in your family that works up at a hospital or something, you get this great insurance, it's still expensive. Like, we have a major healthcare problem, obviously, in the country. I'm not going to get into the politics of that, but I will say, man, this is just a really good example and a close to home example of one major thing happens and everything can just go to hell.
For sure. Yeah. And the recovery from that, I mean, you're not working.
Right.
What can you do in that period of time? And so,
exactly. Yeah. And he is like one of the nicest guys.
Yeah.
Literally in the world. He's like one of the nicest people I have ever met, and I'm old. I've met a lot of people.
Like a lot of our viewers are familiar with the C3 thing that we do, Comics versus Cancer, that we do with Rob Spatstacks. And
that was my first con.
Oh, the Comics versus Cancer?
Yeah, C3. That was my first one. I was like, I got to get in on this.
So, and Adrian's donated tons of stuff to that in the past to help us do fundraising. He's in our comic shop. He's a creator that's in our comic shops all the time. He does 2-3 signings a year at this table right here.
Here.
Yeah, it's awesome that you were able to motivate everybody to come in and kind of pitch into that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to be great. Travis is going to be in, Travis Romney, Andy Malin, Chris will be here, Bill Galvin's going to be here, Mike Lovins will be here, which I always sounds like I'm saying McLovin. But, anyway.
I don't think you'd mind.
No, probably not.
Anytime if you have 15 minutes for an interesting conversation, just say hi to Mike Lovin.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, there you go. Yes.
Because he the way his mind works is pretty fun.
Yeah. So they're going to be here pitching in their time, pitching in their work, pitching in their efforts and their everything just to try and get him stable with things, because that's just like, man, it's just so tough. But I think that's a great example though of the Utah comic community, and I mean, we're so on the surface we're all so incredibly different. We have conservative people, non-conservative people, religious people, Satanists. Yeah, I'm looking at you. No, you know what I mean. I mean, just, I know, right? Just all different walks of life, all different kind of people. But the one thing that we do come together with is this stuff, and I really, really, really love that. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, that common creativity. Just I have ideas and I want to share them is just so infectious, and I mean that's kind of what pulled me into it. Also, I at the start of this, I was like, okay, is anyone ever even going to see this or anything like that? And just sort of stepping forward and discovering those things. And when I was first starting, this is when I discovered the Salt City Strangers. I was like, oh, they stole my idea. Utah Superheroes, how dare they, right? And so, yeah, Chris, we're rivals still. No, just kidding.
Yeah, but, we're gonna have like a big pit fight.
Oh, there we go.
Chris on Saturday,
long boxes. And
you put bets on it. Everybody gets a ticket. Somebody's gonna win. It's gonna be great.
I already know who's gonna win.
It becomes
Adrian's gonna win.
There we go. Yes, it's all for him.
Yeah. No, it's and that's I think that's just super, super cool. It's the generosity and everything else that people are all about here. I love it.
Yeah. We got each other's backs. It's awesome.
Yeah. So back to the Kickstarter, I was able to get this figured out. So, and
that's how Aaron tells me to shut up. Well, back to
We're moving on.
So we've got the link to the Kickstarter down in the description. So scroll down and you can find that. And I will throw up a banner. So tell us about the Kickstarter. What are we doing?
So
there?
the Kickstarter started on September 1st. It ends on the 28th, September 28th. And it is my third Kickstarter. It's I'm taking everything that I've done so far, plus the new stuff that hasn't been published yet, and it's all going to be in one volume. So these ones right here, the issue 1, the issue 2, those are going to be in there, as well as a new story that I've been putting together. It's something of a love letter, I guess you could say, to my old job. I was a teacher for 8 years, and because of my diagnosis with cancer, I had to quit that job. And so what do I do in the meantime while I'm going through chemo, while I'm going through all that stuff? I drew. I just kept doing what I've been doing and had a lot more time to do it. So there's a new story in there that takes place at my old job, takes place at the school where I worked, and yeah, hopefully it'll be fun. But yeah, we're about last I checked, we're a quarter of the way funded on that, and yeah, we've got the rest of the month to do it. So
and I've got that flyer too when we do the silent auction on this.
For sure.
I've just got little sheets that we're going to do silent auctions on. And then I'm just gonna, just take that flyer there so you guys can. There's going to be a QR code. There's going to be all the information there, so you can go there and support it.
Yeah, and I'm not at FanX as like a booth or anything, but I will be walking around waving QR codes in people's faces.
Cool.
Because it'll be like the last week of the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's kind of my strategy. My Hail Mary at the end. It's like, hey,
there you go.
Right on.
Where's your phone? Sign up.
So you went from teaching to comic book creator.
Yeah, I was.
You're just moving up the Forbes list.
I know,
and
right?
highest paid jobs, aren't you?
I was working on the comic book while I was still teaching, which is why it took me 5 years to do that one and 2.5 to do that one.
There you go.
I'm going a lot faster now. But yeah. So that was sort of my crack filler, the thing that kept me sane. And now that I'm like I've got no teaching income anymore, as astronomical as that had been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, what can I do? So Kickstarters, cons, this kind of stuff, trying to get the stuff out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was going through the Kickstarter, and I feel bad because I was just mentioning to Greg, like, I try to read all the books. I have not read any Wasatch Wonders.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I got them because I got them from you at the con. But
yeah, to read lists, the stack just grows. He's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely.
I have to read
that.
rooms.
I know, right?
I really do.
Yeah, I've got a list of things that I haven't even bought yet that I'm like, okay, eventually I'll get to this.
Backlog's serious.
Yeah.
I counted. I have 40 long boxes I haven't read.
Boxes, 41 boxes.
Long boxes.
Oh my goodness.
See, this is Greg telling you that
I got him.
he's not gonna give up his youth because long boxes, that's for kids. I gotta do short boxes. I can't do long boxes anymore. That's the back.
Well, if I got short boxes for all my stuff, I'd never have any short boxes in stock because I get one a week, and that's just stupid.
Yeah.
But
I've got the long boxes under the bed that just sort of drawer out.
There you go.
Yeah.
I do have most of them in the drawer boxes, but I got about 400 boxes.
It is what it is,
and it's just pathetic but awesome.
They put out comics all the time, and
I know.
Yeah, reading comics would be a full-time job in and of itself, right?
Right? Yeah. That's why I've been walking so much lately and trying to eat better and everything. Because by the time I retire, I need a good couple decades to catch up. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've gone from like the heroin back down to just cocaine. I gotta get that going a little bit. I've gone. It's not true. Don't do that.
Stay motivated.
Stay in school. Don't do drugs.
Makes you read faster, right?
There you go. Yeah, I'd blaze through those boxes, literally and figuratively. No, but that's we've all got our stuff. So Evan was telling me the other day how offended he was, but he's trying to be nice. It's cool.
That's how it is. Yeah. The offense is the person's fault, right?
Hey, what's up, Doug? All right, what's up next?
So
what do we got, man?
And so you came at this. You are actually a comic book reader, collector.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Since I was a little kid.
Started this.
Yeah, since I was a little kid, I've been reading comic books, and I guess, part of the impetus for this was like, I want to see comics that I want to be able to read, and so I approached even my writing with these with a very specific episodic style, so that every issue has a beginning, middle, and end. So, because you can come into a comic book store and grab a comic book off the shelf, and it could be like chapter 3 of 10, or
Right.
if you're just randomly pulling something off the shelf, you're coming into the middle of who knows what.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, you could grab a comic book off the shelf and have a satisfying experience between the covers.
I miss those days. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
How there's, I mean, they're writing at a different level.
Mhm.
Yes, they are. It's not. Oh my gosh, the Green Goblin's kidnapped Mary Jane. I have to go down to the Empire State Building and fight him in 20 minutes. I better hurry. But what am I going to do? Aunt May's still sick. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. But there's still something fun about that.
Yeah.
And it's like, that whole kind of thought balloon just shy of breaking the fourth wall, with the, I can't believe last month Iceman and I teamed up. See Marvel Team Up 37. And now I'm on the way
your
back
helpful
to,
editor.
yeah, exactly, Smiling Stan,
Yep.
And, I was like, now I'm back on the way here to meet the Beast so we can do blah, 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 And they explain the whole thing in thought bubbles in 2 panels.
It's like a
Or the splash page.
Yeah.
But it's more fun, man, because you got Spider-Man swinging around, or you got Spider-Man, Peter Parker sitting there at the coffee bean being like, oh, man, I got too many girlfriends, whatever.
What a hard life.
What a tough life. I have a lot of power and too many girlfriends.
Yeah.
Dang it. But there is that, and there's something to be said for that, I feel.
Yeah.
The writing, was more simplistic. Most of the time. There was some serious stuff going on, and Daredevil and some of the Batman stuff.
For sure.
But, you pick up an issue of Marvel Team Up, and it's not going to be, Death of the Innocents. You know what I mean? It's not a life changer. You know what I mean? It's not like, man, I really have been thinking a lot about these technological terrorist people with their beehive suits, man, and I'm really going to pay more attention these now, in my real life.
Yeah, there's really no wrong way to write a comic book. It all just comes down to taste. But
I don't know. Have you read any of Frank Miller stuff?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No. That's terrible. No.
Yeah,
he's a much better writer.
Every writer, is going to write what they write, and that's a prerogative, right? And it's the prerogative as readers to sort of like it or not,
right?
And so I wanted to write something that I would like, that I could just randomly go into a shop and pull it off and be like, that, I don't care if it's issue 1 or issue 100. I hope I get to 100. That'd be awesome. But whether it's issue 1 or 100 or anything in between, that right there was a good experience. That was a good story. That was at least fun.
Yeah.
Right? And instead of, I've had some experiences where I'll crack open a comic and it's like, I don't know who that person is and I don't know what happened.
Right.
And like I said, there's nothing wrong with writing for a trade, but if you write for the trade, then people are going to buy for the trade. They're not going to buy individual issues. They're going to wait for it to come out in a single volume. Yeah. So,
and I find myself a lot when people come to me, and because I kind of branch out. I do gaming stuff, and I do Hot Wheels cars, and I do all this different stuff. And so I end up trading comic books a lot for toys or magic cards or whatever. And a lot of people are like, I've never been into comics. I've always wanted to get involved. Where do I start?
Where? It's always the question.
And these days there's really 2 answers that you can go with. You can be just grab something and read 3 copies or the next 3 issues of whatever book you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of that 3 issues, you'll be brought up to speed.
Pretty much.
And that's true. There's some truth to that. But I do miss the days where you bought, especially when I first got into it, they did everything in 3s. Like these next 3 issues are going to be a beginning, middle, and end, a complete story for Spider-Man, and then we're going to move on to the next one. It's going to have nothing to do with these 3.
Yeah.
So there was a very distinct line drawn there. And I do kind of miss that. I think they've taken it way too far at this point. And even a lot of seasoned collectors are now saying, I'm just going to go back and reread my stuff in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
sorry, go ahead. No, I was going to say, even I have gotten to the point where like I need to shut down the sheer amount of things that I get.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about this before. Eric, you and I have Batman Detective. That's what I read now. There, once there gets to be 17 Batman books up there, it's just, come on. Are you kidding me, man? There's 10 X-Men books. I've got to cut down to Uncanny and just regular X-Men.
Yeah, it's a saturation that the readers look at and feel overwhelmed.
Yeah,
it's like, I love Batman. Oh, there's a Batman comic. There's a Batman. Oh, I can't even afford all of these, let alone read them. Now we're back to those long boxes of unread stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so,
and then you got the other stuff where it's like, oh, okay, well, there's, I really like Batman. I like when Batman teams up with people. Mm-hmm. And then he's like half of the, and half of the Batman books, or half the DC books, are Batman books.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other half of that half, so there's another 25% that has Batman in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God.
That's an awful lot of Batman.
It is.
Yeah.
You two catch up. We'll be right there.
Sure thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought too. Is you just kind of get overwhelmed with the choice. What do they call it? The jam paradox.
Right.
Where if you've got 30 choices of jam, you don't know which one to pick. Whereas if it's down to like 6 different flavors, and so no, that one looks good. And so, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be. It's hard to pick the right thing. You're gonna go and say, well, I like that character and I like that character, and like Greg's saying, it's Batman, for example, is in all of them, so it's like I want to see what Batman is up to.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's wise and healthy to say, well, I'm just gonna pick a title, and if I'm liking that title, I'll stick with it. Like he's down to 2, and so yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten to that point in my reading as well, and a lot of indie stuff, mostly because a lot of indie books will wrap up in 5 issues or 6 issues, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Stray Dogs is a great example. Fantastic story. 6 issues or 5 issues, and they were done.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it really nice.
Yeah.
Look at those little fellas.
You don't get overwhelmed. Oh, those are awesome.
They're D2s. There's so many D2s.
Yeah, that's the charity one, right? What's her name? R2QT or something like that. They give her a fan name. Yeah, R2QT. Oh yeah, the name.
Oh,
QTKT. That's right.
Cutie Katie.
Yeah, it was named after like a Make-A-Wish Foundation or something.
Oh, okay. So Cutie Katie. Mm-hmm. Then there's R7F5, R2A5, R2C2. Not to be confused with C2E2. There's R7D4, and then there's this poor bastard whose name is Java's Bartender. You don't even have a cool name. Java's Bartender? Are you kidding me?
The nameless one. Poor guy.
Java's
This is Star Wars. Every single one should have a name.
Right?
I mean, it's easy. Just throw some letters together, toss some numbers in, you've got a droid name.
Yeah, there's Pinkie Pie, there's Chocolate Cake, there's Mr. Green Jeans.
So I
that fast.
I haven't seen any of the Ahsoka series yet, and I'm looking forward to it. But I do know that Chopper shows up in the Ahsoka series, and I'm pretty excited about
I've only seen the first 2 issues, but it's...
Chopper?
Yeah,
Chopper. My favorite astromech droid.
So he's like a little orange. Looks kind of like that one, but he's got an attitude.
He's a naughty boy.
Oh yeah,
he's a little naughty boy.
Yeah, he's fun.
He's Chopper.
Yeah.
Didn't you ever watch the cartoons?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Clone Wars Rebels. Those are my jam.
I'm sorry. The only R2D2 I know is Jabba's Bartender.
And now you can meet the rest of them.
Now you can meet his whole family, right? Yeah. There's Catherine the Cutie. There's all of them.
Yeah.
Jabba's Bartender. It's so embarrassing.
And who are you? Hello, my name is Jabba's Bartender.
Right? It's like, okay, what do you say? You have like 4 kids, okay? This is David. This is Chris. This is Julie. This is boy 3. This is last one to come out of the life. What is this? Not a name. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm really upset. I'm way too upset about this, and I don't know why. Anyhow, whatever.
The dishes.
Yeah.
Number 3 son. There you go.
And this one is named Bring Me a Drink.
That was my name.
Your nickname?
Yeah.
Hey, you?
Hey, you. Yeah, that and Jesus Christ. Because my mom would always, Jesus Christ.
Has to be
So-
your name.
I know, right?
One thing that I did think was really cool, I was going through the Kickstarter that you have.
Mm.
You've got like your whole family involved in this.
Oh, yeah. My kids, was it 6 months ago or so? They were like, we want to make comic books too. We want to make comic books. So I went and saw how, you can just like take a single 8.5 by 11 and just sort of fold it into its own little comic. And they drew on that. We made a bunch of copies. We've gone to some zine fests here in the valley, and kids, they love to sell those.
Cool.
That's cool.
My oldest son,
Boy 3.
boy 1.
Okay, boy 1.
Kid 2, boy 1.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
So that would be K2. There we go.
K2.
Droid names. But yeah, he was super shy going to the con. Just like, how do I sell it? I was like, you go up to people and say, hey, it's just $1 or $2 for both. Just go around it, because he made a couple of them, and he was like, oh, this is hard. And then he saw across the con there was some vendor who had like this 12 or 15-inch Godzilla toy, and he loves Godzilla. And he saw that, and he was like, Dad, can I get that? And I was like, well, how much is it? And he comes back, it's $30. I'm like, okay, how much money can you make? He made that money so fast. It's all about motivation, right? He was just like, I'm going to go rescue Mr. Godzilla from that very nice vendor to the tune of $30. I need $30, everybody. And so he just started selling those things like crazy. The shyness disappeared.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so, the twins got the same idea, took them to the next con, and they were like, wait, you can make money doing these? I'm making comics too, right? So they're making them, and they're selling them, and since they're not quite identical, but they're close enough, a lot of the people at the con were like, kid, you just asked me to buy some comics. I really told them they should go together so that they don't think it's the same kid coming trying to sell them more. It's like, hey, you were just here. No, I wasn't. That was my brother. And so
that was boy 2.
Yeah. So it was kind of fun to watch him go, oh, so if I make money, then I can turn around and spend it. They did not keep any of it. They
Well, welcome to adulthood.
I know, right? They were buying Transformers as fast as they can get that money up, and Pokemon cards, and they were just like, well, what else can I buy? It's like, well, how much do you have? Not enough. Go sell more, And so I made enough copies for them to be like folding and cutting and getting them ready, and they have their own production behind my table and stuff, and
that's so great.
So the comic books that they're making are going to be in the last pages of this the Kickstarter race. Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
that's so cool.
Once that one prints, I had extra pages at the back, and I was like, what can I do with these? The kids' comics will fit on those, so I've been arranging them in there. So their stuff's going to be in there too, and a little bit, like a couple pages, just sort of talking about my cancer journey and making the comic and all that kind of stuff in there too. So yeah, that's kind of what it's about. We're fighting cancer. The Wasatch Wonders are taking their fight to colon cancer.
Right on.
Yeah.
And stretch goal is for the figures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I had JG Sculpts. He did a figurine of each character. And so I've got 6 of these. And if we hit, so the goal is 1,500 by the end. So by September 28th is 1,500. If we make it to 2,000, then I'll have enough to toss in a 2-inch figurine for everybody who did a physical pledge, back at a physical level. Nice. So yeah, if we can get up to that 2,000 level, then everybody gets a 2-inch figurine of their choice.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I had a question for you. Now I forgot.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. I do that all the time.
Maybe we should talk about all the movies that are shooting and all the movies that are coming out and all the actors that are acting.
They're all so busy.
Yeah, they're all just knocking them out. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that places like Netflix and Hulu, places like that, haven't gone back to independent comics and to those pre-written scripts. and try to get something going there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that would kind of, I don't know. I mean, they'd have to have somebody in the Writers Guild though, and you couldn't have anybody acting in it. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. But I mean, you can have those properties ready. So are we gonna have like a time, next year or whenever after this resolves where there's just not going to be anything coming out?
There's just going to be a slump,
like
possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're starting to see in the news there are some. I can't remember the names of any of them, but there are some studios that are agreeing to the demands of SAG-AFTRA and Writers Guild. So we're starting to see some resolution to some of that.
Right, some of the smaller indie studios.
We might just see a bit of a slump, or we might see people finding creative ways around it, like you're saying, where it's like, well, we can't use any actors, we can't use any writers, so we see late night shows doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Life finds a way.
There you go.
I wonder if it's going to actually kind of backfire. I mean, they've got to be looking at AI at this point and saying, what can AI do?
That's part of the whole thing.
Yeah, that's part of the strike.
Yeah.
And SAG-AFTRA, by the way, sounds like a Star Wars
strike. Yeah, which one of those is SAG-AFTRA?
That's this. Let's give Jabba's bartender SAG-AFTRA. Let's do that. Yes. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a weird situation like that because there is stuff coming out. What We Do in the Shadows, the new season of that's coming out. After Party, that's coming out. There's a lot of things that are coming out. The Fiona and Cake show just came out. But that was stuff that was already done.
Yeah,
right.
And I think it'll be interesting to see because I've heard a rumor from a good sources, that know what they're talking about, and have maybe some inside information that it's probably going to be January before we see this happen because this year's a write-off.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're like, well, we lost this much money, we'll write it off. This is what we're going to have to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious though how long it's going to go on because no matter what, and I don't see Netflix, HBO, Hulu, Amazon. I don't see them agreeing to pay more.
Yeah.
For the streaming stuff, I don't see that happening.
Especially how people have responded to the streaming.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll put something out on whatever service it is, and it doesn't perform as well as the studio hopes, and then
they just pull it and it's gone.
Yeah. And so are they going to give out more money for that to continue to happen? So,
yeah.
Well, and I know a lot of these places are going back to physical media because they've come under a lot of fire lately because they'll put things on. Like the big thing is HBO. It's not even HBO anymore. It's Max.
Yeah, but
whatever that company
Twitter
is,
still is a Twitter too.
They took absolutely everything by HBO, by Warner Brothers, by Discovery, and they put it on this service to lure people over, and then yanked it all. So you can't get half the stuff that you want to watch.
Yeah,
like you can't get old episodes of Storage Wars and stuff anymore.
Yeah,
like it's not there. So, but they're starting to now put that out on physical media. And the new Star Trek is going to be out on physical media.
Interesting.
I think the reason for that though is if they pay royalties for streaming, you have that there. Nobody is paying. Nobody's renting that movie to stream.
Yeah,
it's there.
Yeah.
But if they put it on physical media, somebody's paying $20 for that DVD or that Blu-ray, DVD. You kids remember DVDs? When they put it out on reel-to-reel,
the 8-track of our generation,
right? When they put it out on a brand new filthy Betamax, I mean they are, yeah. I mean maybe wholesale. Okay, yeah, maybe what they made $8. Okay, but it took them 75 cents to make, right?
Yeah.
But maybe with that. Okay, well, they do have $8, and so if they have to use $3 of that to pay everybody, their residuals, then okay, then they've still made $5, or they still made what $3 or $4 per thing after making it.
Yeah,
because the creation of those is nothing. It takes no money to make it a Blu-ray, DVD, a CD, anything like that. And so, and I'm wondering if they're going to start doing that with more things, because again, as we've talked about many times, things just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Things are just gone. And I think they realized, oh crap, and if we put this on there, we got to pay these people their royalties.
Yep.
And that's where they're pulling everything off, man. It's because they don't want to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
But then I paid whatever it is, my $15 a month for Max,
right,
to access that stuff that I can no longer get.
Yeah. But you also have 6,000 other things,
Right.
and $15 into 6,000 ain't much, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've always wondered what that streaming business model is.
Yeah.
Because it's never made sense to me.
On one hand, it's supposed to replace cable, but like nowadays you get people saying, "What if we had just all of those services in like one bundle package?" Now we're talking about cable again.
Yeah.
Adam Conover has been very outspoken about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're familiar with who Adam Conover is.
Adam ruins everything.
Yeah. Adam.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But he's been
I
very
know him by
outspoken.
that.
Yeah.
and I love watching Adam stuff. And he was talking about it the other day, and he gets fired up, just yelling, and he's like, "They told us, Netflix lied to us, because they told us to cut the cord and go to Netflix for $10 a month, and you get everything ever made."
Sure.
And then you moved over to Netflix, and what happened?
It's not all there.
You still have the cord coming into your house. You're still paying
Yeah, right.
cable service $100 a month for internet, so you can pay an additional $15 to Netflix, and then your $15 to Disney, and then your $15 to Max, and everybody else.
Bit of a magic trick.
So nothing's changed. It's just all over the place.
Yeah.
And for my personal, the wife gets furious because we'll be driving down the street and she'll be like, "What hit our account now?" Because we have so many different streaming services.
Yeah.
And they all bill separately at different times.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be so nice if it was all in one package?
It would be nice. But then,
I know. Comcast, if you're listening, I know you've never thought about this before. But what if?
It is a new idea.
What if?
But then you run into the thing, my daughters all live in different cities, but they all use my Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
And it's, I don't know. I mean, I've never understood I understood the movies. Paying to get the movies on your streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
Like an old-time HBO.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. HBO, the movie channel, Showtime, Skinamax.
No, Cinemax, we couldn't have that. I grew up in Willard.
Oh, you couldn't have that? No, that's true. You couldn't have Skinamax. Yeah, you couldn't have Skinamax.
They wouldn't let us have Cinemax.
Yeah, but wasn't it crazy, though, how you just get in between the channels? You see a boob. You might see a boob. Yeah, but, that makes sense to me. Okay, you've got your library. Okay, because Warner Brothers has a stake in one of these, or whoever it is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? HBO. Yeah, they already own this stuff. They don't have to buy it.
Yeah.
Okay. But, putting out, we're going to do $30 million to put this new 6-episode series on Netflix, or 8 episodes, or, whatever. So you get $20 million. And then you have to also pay the people that have done that, just like if it was, on TV or in a movie theater.
Or box office, yeah.
Right? You need to keep paying those people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't understand how 8 episodes of something is going to make it's got to make you $30 million a month, or else you're in the red.
Yeah.
Like, how?
Yeah.
You're not making that much money to pay for all this original programming and these original movies and this whatever, and you're just not making that kind of money.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like the variant conundrum with DC.
Yeah.
You're paying all these people to make the variants.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not selling more than 5,000 of each one of them.
Yeah.
So where's the money? How are you making the money back?
What percentage of collectors out there are there to collect every variant? It may be depending on a title. It's like I want every variant of that title, but in general, do variants really do that well? So you're paying, like, if you've got 5 different variant covers, you're paying 5 times the amount for the
Right.
cover. And
I just don't see how that's a money making situation.
yeah,
I think lowering the price, and if you want to set it at $3.99 for everything, fine. Okay, we're there. We are used to that. We can do that. And $3.99 is cheap now.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, and so I mean, it's like, okay, $3.99 for any company, the major companies, even Dark Horse Image, that kind of stuff, and $3.99, just do it. Okay, one cover, you're only paying one person to do the cover.
Yeah.
Independent companies, small self-published stuff, tiny companies, I think $5 an issue is perfect for
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
And if you get something, even Scout, I feel, should be $3.99. Because the material that they put those books on is not the greatest. They should be $3.99. They're all going for $4.99 now. And I just feel like it would be there's got to be something I'm missing with this. It can't be that simple.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are they not doing it? It just doesn't add up.
As long as you, the shop owner, is ordering every single cover to make sure you have it there for your customer,
which I'm not.
But you do.
No, but
he's lying. He orders. He makes sure that everybody gets what they want.
Well, I do make sure everybody gets what they want.
Well,
but I mean, and some of that is I get one copy of a variant. You know what I mean? One copy. You got 3,000 shops, and only a third of them are maybe going to get that one copy of that specific variant. It's 1,000 books.
But if you look at it like if we go through your new books out here, how many variant covers are out there? There's tons of them.
Oh God, yeah.
Because that's what you got stuck with. And why did you get stuck with it? Because you had to order that in case that customer came in.
Right.
Because you're going to take care of the customer. The bigwigs over at Marvel, honestly, they don't care about your customer.
No, they don't
care
about me.
About you spending the money.
They don't care about me.
Take care of your
as long as my check goes through. That's
so
when
they
stop
get their
caring.
money from you. They're like, okay, we're cool.
That's where they stop and start caring. And that's almost every publisher anymore. Really.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, mid-size on up. Because everybody else has venture capitalists in, or they have investors in, or they have, a corporate co-owner, or, whatever. Everybody's got somebody else with their fingers in the pie.
Mm-hmm. And especially now that the industry has taken such a downturn. Like, since we crashed at the beginning of the year, like those people, they're grabbing even tighter. They're pushing every cent they can out of every title they publish.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's why I say it doesn't make any sense on the publisher side. To me, I mean, if you were to have 8 covers on Wasatch Wonders 3.
Yeah.
Okay, don't get any ideas.
I've got one.
All right,
I'm doing
You're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, if you were going to have 8 covers on there, you got to pay 7 other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one.
There's no way you could do that.
My issue 2 is a guest artist. I contacted Brandon Dayton, and
Brandon's great.
Yeah, and he was like, "Sure, it sounds fun," and so he gave me an awesome cover for issue 2.
Right.
So it was,
but
I didn't do 8. I didn't do 8 covers.
Right. Yeah. So you just have to
one for each day of the week. I've got 7 covers. You just swap them out.
There you go.
Yeah, I really think that's why we're going to start to see a bit of a shift towards those more indie publishers or indie projects, as people are, they're pouring their heart into it. They're saying, this is something I want to do, and I'm going to use whatever channel I can to get it out there, and people will flock to that because they're crafted with more attention to the story, to the art, to the experience of reading the comic. Instead, we just got to churn some things out so that the comic book stores have a new thing every Wednesday or Tuesday, or whatever it ends up being nowadays. And so, there's just a different paradigm, I think, with indie publishers, that they're like, I've got a story that I want to tell, and whoever wants it, have at it. and let's get it out there however we can.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to appeal to a lot of readers because I think it's going to be higher quality work.
Yeah. And it typically is a perfect example of that. Just push out what we can to get paid on a corporate level is when they decided they needed another series of John Carter of Mars. Completely ruined John Carter of Mars. That's what happened. They're like, let's make money on this cash cow. Because I know Eric will buy it.
Welcome to Eric's Soapbox.
Horrible book.
Even Java's bartender thinks that's funny. He's just giggling. Yep.
All right. So,
And by the way, I don't mean to correct you, but I think it's pronounced paradigm.
Oh.
I know how to spell.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you,
I'm sorry.
Mr. Writer.
Mr. English teacher for 8 years.
Whatever, man.
What does he know?
Whatever, dude.
so make sure you go
I will
check
adjust
out.
my
You're kind of the
I'm sorry.
epitome of somebody that's
Hyperbole?
of hyperbole. Yes, you are.
Make sure you go check out the Kickstarter. It ends on the 28th.
Mhm.
We're gonna throw this out there so we can get to the stretch goal. I'd like to see those goals.
Oh yeah,
figures.
yeah. We're a quarter of the way to the goal.
That would
and
be a blast.
It's just $500 more to the stretch goal, and
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
and then I'll have enough to toss minis out there.
And we got a lot of stuff coming up this weekend from 11 to
Whenever everybody
we're
leaves.
done.
So probably all freaking
We're
day.
gonna be doing the Adrian Robb fundraiser. I'm going to be doing a live here, so any of you that pop in, see some cool stuff. I'll be showing off the silent auction stuff. Hit me up. I will get a bid in for you if that's what we have to do to get some of this stuff and get the funds raised. So,
I'm a maybe on that day. Maybe I'll be there. But
I'm going to be donating 2 25-book CGC prep packages, and then Hive Comics. I'm going to pick up some slabs tonight from Hive Comics that we're going to have available for that as well. Jonathan and James pitching in, helping out the Utah comic community.
Way to go, guys.
So over the next couple of weeks, we got FanX coming up. Greg and I are going to be doing some press from there, talking to some Utah creators. We'll probably trip you as you're walking by and have you say a few words.
yeah, for sure.
Shove a QR code in your face.
We'll just shove it back.
So we'll be hitting that up. And then
We'll just scan each other's.
There you go. Yeah, that works.
then
Yeah,
we have Wasatch Comic Con coming up in November 1st.
Yeah, November
Second
11th
weekend.
and 12th.
11th and 12th.
If I'm not mistaken. But
And we've got a ton of stuff donated for the silent auction. 100% of the money raised in that silent auction will go to C3 Comics Curing Cancer. Also, go check out Rob's Fat Stacks. He's doing his 24-hour auction. All proceeds from his YouTube channel go to Comics Curing Cancer as well. So a lot of stuff coming up. All those links are down in the description. Make sure you click on those. Go check it out.
awesome.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah,
and
thanks
saying
for
hi.
having me over. This is awesome.
If anybody's got questions for Mr. Black, just put it down in the comments, and we'll get those to him.
Yep, I've got a website, wasatchwonders.com,
Oh, right on.
with email and everything that you can just contact me through that.
And soon to be launching Black Family Publishing.
I know, right? We're working on the name. We're figuring it out.
There you go.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, we got to be careful with that one.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So check it all out, and we will see you later, traders.
But ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Bells, notifications.